Okay, so in the previous lesson, we had a look at how we can create a library, add stuff to it, and use it in the timeline. There's one or two things that you need to be aware of, and I'm going to demonstrate this. I'm actually using some other library that I've got at my disposal, and I'm going to kind of show you what happens and what you need to be aware of and to watch out for. This is a series of frowns, like what happens to the eyes, and this is to do with the crow again. You notice that it's all kept in the crow library, and every bit has got its own little catalog as well. So I'm just going to click on the first drawing template and drag it into my scene. The moment I let go, it's already created a new layer for me, and it's dropped it exactly on the timeline that I was on before. So that's one of the things that you need to be aware of. Wherever that timeline cursor is, that's where it's going to be created if you drag and drop it into your scene. Number one. Number two, if I go to the next one and drag and drop it into my scene, you notice that now it's created a second layer, which is no good to me at all. So let me just get rid of the first one. So you need to be mindful of that. Once you've created your layer by dragging and dropping it into your scene, the next template you want to use, you need to bring it into your timeline and drop it next to this, or wherever you want that image to come in. So let me just delete that one and then pull the other one close to it. So what you'll have now is a bit of animation where the eye is sort of coming closer, and if I do the next one, I've got that, and then finally here, if I grab the final line and drop it into the right frame, now we've got the entire blink happening, and it kind of is works in a really nice way. Now that's one thing, and I'm just going to delete that, and I'm going to go to the lips themselves. So if I go to the lips, I've got, as you can see in my library, I've got a variety of different mouse shapes for this crow, and I'm going to bring the neutral in, drag and drop it in my scene to create a new layer, and again it goes right where the timeline is, and that's the beak for it. And you notice that I've already got one for AEI animated. I'm going to drag that next to where I want that to be, and here is what you get. That is a neutral mouse shape, and exactly where I dragged the next one, which was the animated section, you notice that I've got all of a sudden this shape here. Okay, so all that's required of you to create something like this animated asset is for you to literally go and create a bit of animation here, 2, 3, whatever, how many frames you want, select all those frames and drag it into your library. I'm going to delete that, and in order for me to demonstrate that, I'm going to go back to my frown again, drag the first one into my scene. There is my first one. Drag the second one next to it, second, third one next to that, third one next to that, and final blink is going to be right there. So you've got all 4 of them. Now if I want this to be completely animated, all I need to do is to select all the frames and drag them into my library and name them as animated. So that's what you have. Now if I then go on to drag this into my next scene, you notice that I no longer have to drag them individually. I've actually created a short animation asset that I can use and drag and drop in at any point that I want.